I came across something really interesting within the Zodiac Duelist Facebook group. And it was a post asking why people rarity out their decks. Now, aside from all the normal Zodiac Duelist stuff and responses, I tried to give a response of why that actually is, and that's what actually prompted me to make this video. So, if you don't know, there are actual good reasons to max rarity out your deck other than it looks nice or it looks pretty. While that does factor into these bigger reasons, they're not the main reasons. And, saying that somebody is broke when they ask these questions is probably not the best response, but it's Zodiac. What are you going to do? All right. But here, I want to actually try to explain why it is kind of important, why it might actually give you an edge when it comes to playing competitively. So, why? Why max it out? What could possibly make it good? I can already hear somebody in the back with their hand raised. Ooh, me. I know. It's because certain cards you draw more often due to their weight. No. While that was a fun myth at the time from back in the day, where if you played Hobby League cards, you were more likely to draw them due to their weight as they sank to the bottom, and when the deck was cut, they just rise to the top. No, there's no proof for that, and there's no proof for any of that on weight. Maybe at some quantum level, maybe, who knows, right? But more than likely, no. So, what can help? Why does this help? I think, as anybody knows, one of the best players in the game is obviously Patrick Hoban. Um, Without a doubt. Nobody's going to debate you if you say, yeah, Patrick Hoban is probably one of the greatest players in the history of this game, right? And he does a amazing job describing this in many places of why max rating out your deck is such a great thing for your competitive game. And one of these places he describes this is in his book that he has written, Road to the King. And another place he's actually written this is on an article for Ultra Reality Games. So, in both of these articles that he describes max rating out the deck has to do with what's known as the Pygmalion effect. If you're not familiar with what the Pygmalion effect is, basically it's whereby contributing to someone else's perception of you, they think that way of you, therefore enforcing that behavior upon yourself to later act that certain way, and thus continuing the cycle. Let me give an example. If somebody comes in with a focused mind and a winning attitude, I don't mean I'm gonna have fun. No, I mean they're there to win. They're driven, right? If they're there with that attitude and that mentality and focus, they are going to do better than somebody who says, oh, I don't know, I might lose, I'm unsure of myself. Mainly due to the fact that going into a tournament or a competition with that mindset has you focused and it has you driven and able to make better quality plays and decisions. Meanwhile, somebody that comes in with the might not be able to do it, we'll see what happens, they've already set themselves up for failure. Confidence is a third of the battle, right? Obviously. But how does this go into rarities of cards? Well, again, Patrick Hoban explains this in a very brilliant way. Not to kiss ass or anything, but it is pretty brilliant the way it's described. I don't think there would have been any other way to describe this that's as convincing. Basically, what he says, he used monarchs in his ARG article regarding Rarity. However, I don't want to rip everything off, word for word, so let's change it up. Something that I'm actually interested in building right now as a rogue deck is spellbooks. It's a nice looking deck. It's my play style. It's a lot of fun. And believe it or not, it has some competitive viability when it comes to catching your opponent off guard with what you're actually playing. But let's actually talk about that, right? Right here, I have 2 cards that actually can be upgraded. Those 2 cards being Spellbook of Secrets and Spellbook of Power. Both of these cards, as of right now, come in commons as the lowest form, and ultimate rares as their highest form. Where these are a few cents on the dollar. Spellbook of Power is ranging anywhere from 20 to 30 bucks. Meanwhile, the price hike on Secrets has gone up to about $50 to $60. So Kevin, why would I want to play $50, $60 cards that I need 3 of? Not to mention Spellbook Magician of Prophecy, or Blue Boy, that costs another $50 or $60 per card, so anywhere from $150 to $180 for a playset. Why would I want to do that? That makes no sense. Not to mention Spellbook of Fate, who's ranging around $20 for first eds. So Kevin, why would I want to play this? It still makes no sense. There's no reason whatsoever to pay that much money. Let me explain. The way Patrick Hoban explains it is the thesis is by having high rarity cards, you're prone to do better within tournaments when it comes to decision making. Where's the evidence for this? Book of Secrets, right? We'll use this as our example. Okay? Comes in ulti. So if we have the common and the ulti, and even the ultra, right? Obviously, ulti is highest rarity. So when you play a common, right, you see it as another card in your deck. There's no special feeling when you draw it. There's no special feeling when you play it. There's no pride in what you play, right? So what then stops you from proxying cards? Interdimensional Matter Transporter. This card we're going to be using as a proxy for the common variant of Spellbook of Secrets. From here on out, this card is going to be the proxy for Spellbook of Secrets. Anytime this card would be played, the effect of Spellbook of Secrets would go off. Okay? What then would keep you from doing good with this? Well, the way Hoban explains it, and he uses Karaz, Ulti Karaz, as the example. If you use something like a wind-up spell to represent Karaz, it doesn't feel the same as the decision-making isn't on par as it would be if it was the actual card. Why is this? This is a psychological effect that happens on a lot of people that I don't have the card, or the card's not high rarity in extension. It's not high rarity, so it's not special. The decision making doesn't make people slow down and go, oh, I drew this max rarity card. Not only is it aesthetically pleasing to look at, but as well, you're not seeing any type of go forth and make good decision. You're saying, another card in deck. Another card in deck makes the brain go, I can just turn off and it doesn't matter. Seeing something that is different from the rest of your cards, or, you know, it's shiny. We'll use Snatch Steal because I have it here. It's shiny, right? It makes people go, oh, wait a minute. This card is important. Even if it's not important, it goes, oh, shiny card of this variant. And there is a small spark, small reminder that makes people go, I paid whatever amount for this card, high amount for this card. So in that spark, in that moment, it makes people slow down. It makes people go, hey, I want to play this because I paid so much for it. And because I paid so much for it, it makes them slow down, makes them think better, it makes them, by extension, play better, and even further by extension, it makes them top more often. Again, this is just a theory, and it's not 100% proven, but at the same time, by anecdotal evidence, it is. Now, again, take anecdotal evidence with a grain of salt, because it's not true empirical evidence. However, when you see a majority of the people that top playing cards with the highest rarity of those cards, you have to stop and wonder, hey, maybe there's some validity to this. So when it comes to the Pygmalion effect, at least in my eyes, it does matter that your rarities are bumped, and it does matter that you take pride in what you play and how you play it. Again, this is only a third of the battle. Itself is the attitude and the way of thinking, the mentality. Because there is a lot of mental games that go into actually playing a match of Yu-Gi-Oh! It's not the most serious thing, but for a lot of people it is, because they do spend a lot of time, they do spend a lot of money and invest into the game. And that's why it's really important for these people to actually go forward and do well in their games. And so by max rating out their deck, they're giving themselves the better chance to actually top and take something serious and do something good with it. So with that being said, that's where they are. I hope that answers at least a little bit of the few hundreds of questions that plague Yu-Gi-Oh! Players' minds all the time that don't really compete very often, and they don't see the point in spending exuberant amount of money on cards, whether they be meta or not. But for those people, it is important, and I also get it, you know. Those meta competitive players, they don't have time to sit down and actually talk about it, because it does take a little bit of time. And, you know, if they sat down and talked to every single person about this, new blue players, old players that never got, you know, really competitive and into it, that'd just be a waste of their time when they could be doing other things. So that's your answer. That is the easiest answer. And even then, it's not that simple. So that's going to be it for me. I hope to bring you guys tomorrow a opening of a case of Dual Overload being opened by Jay, as you known from the previous channel. So yeah, do whatever you want, like, subscribe, comment, whatever. It's cool. So that's going to be it from me. I'm out.